televangelist James Robison.
Character actors, those are the guys who play the service station attendant in the middle of the desert, the barkeep who sells cheap whiskey in a grungy saloon, the fly-by-night salesman who hawks sump pumps to flood victims in a disaster flick, and other roles so important to a motion picture. And just where does Hollywood find those guys anyway? Well, one of them can be found in Paris, Texas, and the folks up there say, frankly, he's the craziest guy in town.
Hi, Glenn. How are you this morning? Good to see you. Could I show you a pretty ring?
Yes, sir.
His name is Gene Rader. His game is a little bit of everything. Around Paris, Texas, he's known as Gene the Cut Price King, owner and operator of a shop called Gene the Jeweler, a successful jewelry and gift shop just off the town square. If he looks a little strange in a blue English bowler, then you should hear him talk, especially about his other line of work.
How did you get started in the movie business?
With that little Model T, I have a little friend that's over there at Dallas, a little lady by the name of Sherry Rhodes. She's a little casting director. Now, she knew that I had this Model T, and so Sherry called me and she said, say, Gene, said, how about me renting your car for the movies? I said, oh, Lord, anything with the movies around here at Paris excites me and excites a lot of other folks, too. Well, so, Sherry, I said, Sherry, I'll let you use my little car on one condition, that you get me in the movies. Well, so she said, now, Gene, I can't get you in the movies. Said, that'll be up to you. And so I said, well, when do you want me? So they give me a date to come over, so I went and got me a trailer and wheel horsed my little Model T down that big freeway over there, drawed up on every corner and dodging, and went over there to, I believe it was Holiday Central, you know.
Well, that's kind of a long story, which we'll get back to periodically. But first and foremost, Gene Rader is proud of Paris, and a tour of the city in his Model T is a trip worth taking.
Take me out to the billboard.
Good deal. Well, now, Doug, it's kind of a pleasure to have you boys over here with us in Paris. Paris is one of the cleanest little towns you'll find anywhere. And with its growth, we call it the little Chicago of the Red River Valley.
How long did it take you to build this car?
5 years.
5 years?
5 years. And every part was dug up out of ditch. There's no two pieces of the same car. You know, they're all different. Of course, I had my red derby on and my red suit. Well, and boy, I hit them folks with a storm, man. I come on heavy. And I said, and the director looked up at me and he said, my Lord, where did that come from? And so I told him down around Lamar County, Paris, Texas, you know. Now we're coming up to the world's largest billboard. Of course, we need to trim some trees. You know, the trees has kind of took us over. But in fact, at one time, it was the second largest, but the largest one blowed down. So there's the world now, largest billboard.
The history, and the history's blank?
The history is blank, that's right. But it was Christmas time here, and so I couldn't get over, and I said, Sherry, it just looks like I ain't gonna never get into the movies. Lamar turns into Bonham after you come across the plaza. We always call it the plaza. You see there, with all its pretty flowers?
There are 4 jewelry stores here within a block of yours.
Yeah.
That's pretty stiff competition, isn't it?
Well, it keeps a man a scratching. You know, it reminds you of the cotton picking days. You got to get out there and get it. Now, we brag on ourselves. We say that we're Paris' largest jeweler, tail end of the $1 Million Mile. And that goes for waistline, too. We're going to be that way both ways. But our jewelry store, we have a beautiful brides department, too. You know, have a selection. And we offer the little brides everything but a fiancé. And around here this summer's been one of our biggest, so it seems like there's a good supply of fiancés. And we just love the dog out of that. I got the job in Sugarland Express. And so really, I kind of believe my movie career might go up a little better because they can't start no lower. I started coming out of the toilet, zipping up my breeches.
When the movie played at the local theater, guess who got top billing? He's not just real sure where he picked up The Rock, but it sounds nice. He also appeared in 3 other movies, including Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's him selling gas masks. But being a sometime star of sorts hasn't changed Gene Rader. He still makes his daily rounds of nearby stores, visiting friends, shaking hands, and generally being the town character.
The people in Paris, Texas, that's the finest folks anywhere. In fact, I wish I could just visit every one of them every day. And pretty nearly do, you know. All of the good folks around the plaza, yeah, we just a good little hometown here, you know. And you can always run in, it's hello, you know, and pass the time of day. Of course, lots of things happen, but, you know, we can still get excited about news that's a month old around here, you know, and just put a new handle on it and rediscuss it, see. So pretty nearly all the time we got something new brewing and a-going here in Paris. See, he's the one that sent me on that Arkansas cruise.
Yeah, right.
And you slip, yeah, and you slip on the commode, didn't you?
Just about.
What if I said that you were called the town character?
Oh, well, that'd kind of be like a goat and a herd of sheep. I believe the goat would have more fun than the sheep, don't you? If it's just one goat and a herd of sheep, there got to be a goat somewhere, you know. And I enjoy it, and I've made a good living at it. And what is that old saying? Another man's, one man's junk is another man's treasure. And boy, we got the place out there for them to really get rid of it. We're going to have a big auction every Saturday night.
If Gene Rader is the craziest guy in town, he's crazy like a fox. He not only owns the jewelry store, he also owns an office building, an apartment house, a finance company, occasionally appears in the movies, and now, well, now he's into fleas.
What are you going to do on down the road? What's your ultimate ambition?
Well, now, that's a pretty big word you throwed at me. Cut it down to ask me in a smaller way.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
Oh, now I can understand what I'm a-doing. Yeah, just what I'm a-doing, yeah. Fishing and just fooling around.
Gene Rader is perhaps the epitome of the phrase, country come to town. But he's parlayed a penchant for derby hats, vintage cars, a friendly personality, and a gift for gab into a successful lifestyle.
See y'all later.
And off he goes into a tree-shrouded 5-acre lot called home to sit and gaze at his man-made tropical rainforest. But that's another story. Doug Fox, Channel 8 News, Paris, Texas.
Oh, and working for Steve Spielberg, I believe it. I could someday be a movie star, because he's great.
Nowadays, women are getting involved in sports faster.